Hey Capricorn, I need to share something with you today that honestly gave me chills when the cards started revealing it. I was doing my morning reading and your energy came through so strongly that I had to pull a full spread immediately. What came up is something we need to talk about right now because timing is everything with this. Someone in your orbit, someone you might not even suspect, has been drawing from your energy field in ways that are affecting your physical vitality, your mental clarity, and even your ability to manifest the things you have been working so hard toward. I know that sounds intense and maybe a little scary, but stay with me because the cards are also showing me exactly how you can identify this person, protect yourself, and actually use this situation to step into an even more powerful version of yourself. This is not about fear. This is about awareness and reclaiming what is rightfully yours. So I shuffled with your sign in mind, and the first card that practically flew out of the deck was the Six of Swords. Now, typically when I see this card, I think about transition and moving away from difficulty, right? But the way it appeared here, the energy behind it, there is something deeper happening. The Six of Swords is showing me that you have already been feeling this drain, Capricorn. You might not have put words to it yet. You might have just noticed that you feel more tired than usual, that your motivation is not where it normally is, or that certain situations or people leave you feeling completely depleted afterward. This card is confirming that your intuition has been picking up on something real. There is a shift happening where you are starting to recognize that you need to move away from certain energies or dynamics that are not serving your highest good. What I find really interesting about the Six of Swords in this position is that it is showing me you have been carrying someone else's emotional baggage without even realizing it. You know how you are, Capricorn. You are reliable. You are the one people come to when they need stability or practical advice, and you take that responsibility seriously. But somewhere along the line, someone has been taking advantage of that dependability. They have been using you as their emotional dumping ground or their constant source of solutions without offering anything in return. And that imbalanced exchange has been creating a slow leak in your energy tank. The swords in this card represent mental and communicative energy, so this might be someone who texts you constantly with their problems, who always needs your advice, who monopolizes conversations and never asks how you are doing. Pay attention to who comes to mind when I say that, because your intuition already knows who this is. The next card that came through, and this one made me sit up straighter because it shifted the energy of the reading completely, is the Knight of Pentacles. Now, at first glance, this Knight energy might seem positive because Knights of Pentacles are usually associated with dedication, hard work, and steady progress. But here is what the cards are revealing in this specific context. This Knight is showing up reversed in energy, even though it appeared upright, meaning that someone around you is embodying the shadow side of this archetype. This is someone who appears stable, reliable, and hardworking on the surface, but underneath they are actually stuck, resistant to growth, and perhaps even resentful of your forward momentum. Capricorn, I am seeing that this person might be someone in your professional sphere or someone you interact with regularly in a structured environment like work, a long-term project, or even a family business situation. The Knight of Pentacles energy tells me this is not a dramatic, obvious energy vampire. This is someone who operates slowly and steadily, almost methodically, in the way they draw from you. They might consistently ask for your input on their work, rely on your expertise without acknowledgement, or create situations where you end up doing more than your fair share while they take credit or benefit from your efforts. What makes this particularly draining for you, Capricorn, is that as an earth sign yourself, you value reciprocity and fairness. When someone takes advantage of your generosity or your willingness to help without ever balancing the scales, it creates a deep frustration in your soul that actually manifests as physical exhaustion. The Knight of Pentacles here is also warning me about someone who might be deliberately moving slowly or creating obstacles that force you to expend more energy than necessary. Have you noticed situations lately where things that should be simple somehow become complicated? Where someone seems to need excessive explanations or seems to forget what you have already told them, forcing you to repeat yourself constantly? That is not accidental, Capricorn. That is a subtle form of energy theft, where someone is either consciously or unconsciously making you work harder than you should have to. When the Four of Pentacles appeared next, I actually felt a wave of protectiveness come over me for you, because this card is screaming boundaries. The Four of Pentacles is all about holding on to what is yours, about being protective of your resources, whether those resources are financial, emotional, or energetic. This card appearing in your reading is the universe basically grabbing you by the shoulders and saying you need to get serious about protecting your energy right now. I am seeing that you might have been operating from a place of abundance mentality, which is beautiful and admirable, thinking that you have enough energy, time, and resources to share freely with others. But what the Four of Pentacles is showing me is that there is a difference between generous sharing and allowing yourself to be depleted. Right now, someone has been treating your energy like an unlimited resource that they can just take from whenever they want, and you have been allowing it either because you did not realize it was happening or because you did not want to seem selfish or unkind. But here is what I need you to understand, Capricorn. Protecting your energy is not selfish. It is essential for your survival and your ability to show up as your best self in all areas of your life. The Four of Pentacles is giving you permission to be a little more guarded, a little more selective about who gets access to your time, your attention, and your emotional bandwidth. I am also seeing with this card that the person who has been draining you might actually be triggered by your resources or your success. The Four of Pentacles can indicate someone who is envious of what you have, whether that is your stability, your achievements, your relationships, or even just your inner peace. This person might not even be fully aware of their jealousy, but it manifests as them constantly needing something from you, constantly finding ways to interrupt your flow or distract you from your goals. Their unconscious envy creates this energetic pull where they are trying to absorb some of what you have without doing their own work to create it for themselves. Then Temperance showed up, and honestly, this card brought such a sense of relief to the reading because it is showing me that you have the wisdom and the ability to handle this situation with grace and balance. Temperance is the card of moderation, of finding the middle path, of alchemizing challenges into growth opportunities. What I love about Temperance appearing here is that it is telling me you do not need to go to extremes in dealing with this energy vampire situation. You do not need to blow up relationships or have dramatic confrontations, but you also cannot keep ignoring what is happening. Temperance is showing me that the solution lies in gradually adjusting your boundaries and finding a balanced approach to your interactions with this person. I am seeing that you might need to start moderating how available you are, how much information you share, and how much of yourself you invest in situations that are not reciprocal. Temperance is also bringing in this beautiful energy of self-healing and restoration. After recognizing that someone has been drawing from your energy, you need to focus on replenishing yourself. This might mean creating more space for activities that genuinely fill you up, whether that is time in nature, creative pursuits, physical exercise, or quality time with people who actually energize you rather than drain you. The angel in the Temperance card is literally pouring water between two cups, which represents the flow of energy. Right now, your energy has been flowing too much in one direction, toward this person who has been taking without giving back. Temperance is asking you to rebalance that flow, to make sure you are receiving as much as you are giving, and to be intentional about where your precious energy goes. I am also getting that Temperance is showing you how to transmute this challenging experience into wisdom. Instead of seeing yourself as a victim of energy theft, you can see this as a powerful lesson in discernment, in setting boundaries, and in recognizing your own value. Every challenging experience has medicine in it, if we are willing to extract it. The Six of Wands came through next, and this card actually made me smile because it is showing me your way forward, your path to reclaiming your power. The Six of Wands is the victory card, the recognition card, the card that says you are about to experience a significant win. But here is what is interesting about it appearing in this reading about energy theft. The Six of Wands is showing me that once you start protecting your energy and setting proper boundaries with the person who has been draining you, you are going to experience a surge of vitality, creativity, and success that honestly might surprise you. It is like you have been running a race with weights tied to your ankles, and once you cut those weights loose, you are going to realize just how fast and far you can actually go. I am seeing recognition coming your way, Capricorn, whether that is in your career, your creative projects, or your personal growth journey. But this recognition is directly tied to you learning to preserve and protect your energy. The Six of Wands is also showing me that as you step into your power and start succeeding at even higher levels, it is going to become crystal clear who was benefiting from keeping you small. The person who has been drawing from your energy is likely someone who on some level did not want to see you shine too brightly, because your light made them uncomfortable with their own shadows. As you start winning and receiving acknowledgement for your efforts, watch how this person reacts. Do they celebrate with you genuinely? Or do they try to diminish your achievements, redirect attention back to themselves, or suddenly have a crisis that requires your immediate attention? Their reaction will tell you everything you need to know about their true intentions. Then the Seven of Wands appeared, and I felt this fierce protective energy come through. The Seven of Wands is the card of standing your ground, of defending what is yours, of refusing to back down even when you are being challenged. This card is telling me that protecting your energy and setting boundaries with this person is not going to be entirely comfortable at first. The Seven of Wands shows someone standing on higher ground, defending their position against 6 other wands coming at them from below. This represents the fact that when you start saying no, when you start pulling back, when you start protecting yourself, there might be pushback. The person who has been benefiting from unlimited access to your energy is not going to love the new boundaries you are setting. They might act hurt, confused, or even angry. They might try to make you feel guilty, accuse you of changing or being cold, or ramp up their neediness to test whether you will cave and go back to the old dynamic. But the Seven of Wands is here to tell you to stand firm, Capricorn. This is your life, your energy, your peace, and you have every right to protect it. The beautiful thing about the Seven of Wands is that it shows you are fighting from the high ground, meaning you have the advantage, you have the clarity, you have the moral authority in this situation. You know what is right for you, and no amount of guilt-tripping or manipulation should shake you from that knowing. I am also seeing with the Seven of Wands that there might be more than one person who has been drawing from you or benefiting from your excessive generosity. As you start setting boundaries with one person, you might notice others starting to come out of the woodwork or increasing their demands. This is actually a good thing because it helps you see clearly who has been in relationship with you for genuine connection versus who has been using you as a resource. The Seven of Wands is giving you the courage to stand in your truth even when it is uncomfortable, even when people do not understand, even when you are afraid of being seen as selfish or mean. Your energy, your time, your life force is the most valuable thing you have, and protecting it is an act of self-love and self-respect. The Five of Pentacles showed up next, and when I saw this card, it really confirmed the severity of what has been happening. The Five of Pentacles is one of those cards that shows up when someone is experiencing lack, hardship, or feeling left out in the cold. In the traditional imagery, we see 2 figures walking through snow past a lit church window, suggesting they are struggling while abundance exists right there if they would only turn and see it. In the context of your reading, Capricorn, this card is showing me the actual impact that this energy drain has been having on you. You might have been feeling isolated, depleted, or like you are working so hard, but somehow still coming up short. You might have been wondering why things feel so much more difficult than they should, why you are not seeing the results that match your efforts, or why you feel so alone even when you are surrounded by people. The Five of Pentacles is revealing that this energy theft has been creating a real sense of lack in your life, not because you do not have enough inherently, but because someone has been siphoning off what is yours before you can fully utilize it for your own growth and goals. What I find particularly sad about the Five of Pentacles in this context is that it suggests this person who has been draining you might be someone you actually tried to help, someone you felt compassion for, someone who presented themselves as being in need. and your generous Capricorn nature wanted to support them, wanted to be there for them, wanted to help them get back on their feet. But instead of using your help as a stepping stone to their own empowerment, they have become dependent on your energy, constantly coming back for more, without ever doing the inner work to become self-sufficient. The Five of Pentacles is also warning you about financial or material impacts. If this person is someone you work with or do business with, there might be actual monetary consequences to their energy drain, like projects that do not pay off because you end up doing all the work, opportunities you miss because you are too exhausted from helping them, or resources you spend on them that you never get back. When the Ten of Cups appeared, I actually got emotional because this card represents the ultimate emotional fulfillment, harmony, and happiness. The Ten of Cups is what we are all working toward, that sense of deep contentment, loving relationships, and life satisfaction. In your reading, Capricorn, this card is showing me what is on the other side of dealing with this energy vampire situation. Once you protect your energy, set proper boundaries, and remove yourself from draining dynamics, you are going to experience a level of peace and happiness that you might not have even known was possible. The Ten of Cups is showing me beautiful, reciprocal relationships where you feel seen, valued, and appreciated. It is showing me a life where your energy flows freely in healthy directions and comes back to you multiplied. But here is the key thing the Ten of Cups is teaching you right now. You cannot experience this level of fulfillment while you are allowing yourself to be drained. You cannot have healthy, balanced relationships if you are modeling that it is okay for people to take from you without giving back. The Ten of Cups requires you to value yourself enough to only accept relationships and situations that are mutually nourishing. I am also seeing with the Ten of Cups that there are people in your life or people coming into your life who genuinely want to celebrate you, support you, and be there for you in reciprocal ways. But you might not have been available to receive that love and support because you have been so focused on pouring into someone who is never satisfied. The Ten of Cups is inviting you to redirect your energy toward people and situations where there is real potential for mutual joy and fulfillment. Think about who in your life actually energizes you, who you feel better after spending time with, who celebrates your wins and supports you through challenges without making it all about them. Those are your Ten of Cups people, and they deserve more of your time and attention. The Three of Swords appeared toward the end of your reading, and I will be honest, this card stung a little bit because it represents heartbreak, painful truth, and necessary endings. But here is what I want you to understand about the Three of Swords in this context. Sometimes the most loving thing we can do for ourselves is acknowledge when a relationship or dynamic is hurting us and have the courage to change it or end it. The Three of Swords is showing me that there is going to be some emotional pain involved in dealing with this energy vampire situation. You might feel sad about pulling back from someone you cared about. You might feel guilty about setting boundaries. You might grieve the relationship you wished you had with this person versus the reality of what it actually is. That grief is valid and real, and the Three of Swords is giving you permission to feel it fully. But what the Three of Swords is also showing me is that this pain is necessary and ultimately healing. It is like removing a splinter. It hurts in the moment, but it is required for the wound to properly heal. I am seeing that you might need to have some difficult conversations coming up, moments where you have to speak your truth even though it might hurt someone's feelings or disappoint them. The Three of Swords is giving you the strength to do that, because continuing to sacrifice your own well-being to avoid momentary discomfort is not sustainable and it is not fair to you. I am also getting that the Three of Swords is revealing some painful truths about this person's true character or intentions. As you start pulling back and protecting your energy, you might see sides of them you did not want to believe existed. They might show you through their reactions and behavior that they were never really interested in your well-being, only in what they could get from you. That realization hurts, but it is also liberating because it confirms that your decision to protect yourself was absolutely the right one. The final card that appeared in your reading, and I love that this is where we are ending, is the Two of Pentacles. This card shows someone juggling two pentacles, finding balance and rhythm even while things are in motion. After everything we have talked about regarding energy theft and protection, the Two of Pentacles is showing me that you have the skill and agility to navigate this situation successfully. You can set boundaries and protect your energy while still being a kind and compassionate person. You can pull back from draining dynamics while still maintaining your integrity and values. The Two of Pentacles is all about balance and adaptation, and it is telling me that you are entering a phase where you are going to get really good at managing your energy, at knowing when to give and when to preserve, at recognizing healthy dynamics versus toxic ones. I am seeing you becoming much more discerning about where you invest your time, attention, and resources. The Two of Pentacles also suggests that you might be juggling multiple areas of your life that need attention right now, and managing your energy properly is going to be crucial to handling everything successfully. You cannot afford to let one person or situation drain you to the point where you do not have anything left for your career, your health, your personal goals, or your relationships that actually matter. The Two of Pentacles is teaching you that flexibility and balance are your superpowers moving forward. When you feel pulled in too many directions, when someone is demanding too much, when you notice your energy starting to flag, you now have the awareness to adjust, to rebalance, to protect yourself before you reach the point of complete depletion. This card is also showing me that there might be some financial balancing or resource management that needs to happen as you disentangle yourself from this draining dynamic. Maybe you need to set clearer financial boundaries. Maybe you need to stop funding someone else's responsibilities, or maybe you need to be more strategic about where you invest your resources so you are building your own stability rather than propping up someone else. So Capricorn, if you made it to the end of this reading, I just want to acknowledge how much courage it takes to look at these dynamics honestly. Recognizing that someone has been drawing from your energy, potentially someone you care about or someone you have been trying to help, is not easy. But your awareness is the first step toward reclaiming your power. The cards are really clear that you have everything you need to protect yourself, set proper boundaries, and move forward into a much more balanced and fulfilling chapter. Pay attention over the next few days and weeks to who comes to mind when you think about energy drain. Trust your intuition because it already knows who this is. And then start taking small steps to adjust the dynamic, whether that is being less available, saying no more often, or having an honest conversation about what you need. Your energy is precious, and it belongs to you first. Protecting it is not selfish. It is necessary, and the universe is fully supporting you in doing whatever you need to do to reclaim what is yours. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I really hope this reading brought you clarity and empowerment. If this resonated with you, I would love to hear about it, and I will see you in the next reading.